Okay, so we're going to start with a Sudoku puzzle. So if you don't know the rules, this is a row, and it has to have 1 through 9 with nothing repeated. This is called a column. It needs 1 through 9, no repeats. And you're going to have a box square with 1 through 9 with no repeats. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 strategies that I use, and then I kind of like mix and match these strategies. Okay, so here is a strategy number 1 for me. I go through number by number sometimes. So for instance, if I look at the ones, I can do this. So just eyes on my paper for a second here. I know some of you are already kind of going, but I just want to show you. Okay, so here's a 1. Here's a 1. What do I know about the 1 in this top box? So look at it here. It's there. So we'll call this the left column, the middle column. So in this box, it has to be on the right column. But guess what? There is a 1 right there, so I can't. So boom, I know that it goes there. Okay? So that is a strategy that I do, and I kind of mix and match. Okay, I'm going to show you one that's a hard one, that's a secondary. Okay, so watching, everybody's got your eyes here. Okay, this 3, I can't put the 3, I can't put it here or here. So what do I know about the 3? It would have to go in the middle row. I don't know where, but it's in the middle. So therefore you can conclude that it's in a top over here. So sometimes you can do something like that, where you don't necessarily know where, but at least you know it's in the middle. And then you can move forward and pick the next one where it has to be on the top. Okay, so you can use that strategy. Then I also sometimes combine like a box or a row or a column. So I try to pick something where it has a lot. So for instance, this row has a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's missing a 5, a 6, and a 7. So then I kind of go through and I say, well, there's a 5 or a 6. I can't be 7. This could be a 6 or a 7 because it can't be a 5. And this could be a 5, a 6, or a 7. So I didn't get any answers, but I at least kind of know the options. So you could probably do that on this row, maybe. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's got a 6. It's missing a 6, a 7, and an 8. Okay, oh, that helps me because look at this one had to be a 6 because the 7 and 8 it can't be. So now I can go here and I'm going to write tiny. This could be a 7 or an 8. I don't know. Oh, that helps. Because guess what now? We had already marked here for ourselves that this one was a 5 or a 6. So now I for sure know that's a 5. Okay, then I could do this. I could look at just a box. So this is just a box, and it's got 2 empties. So I need a what and a what? A 2 and a 9, right? I'm missing a 2 and a 9, so do you know where each one would go? Well, there's a 2 right here blocking, so a 2 and a 9. Okay, so you see how I can kind of combine a bunch of things? I'm going to go back to saying, like, I'm going to switch, because I can see this now. I can see a 2 here, I can see a 2 here, so therefore I know the 2 has to be in this column. but then I look across, and what do I see? A 2 there, a 2 there. So now I also know where the 2 is there. Okay, does that give you a start of the strategies? You can go, okay, like let's take a box or a row or a column, or let's track all the 2s or all the 3s. And you just kind of mix and match until you see. Okay, we're gonna move to this next one. Okay, so we have 3 dance classes going on. So I need you guys to draw a Venn diagram. And this is called a Venn diagram. And there's 3 things that are overlapping. And we're gonna label them jazz, tap, and ballet. Okay, we're going to start with a sentence that has us doing all 3 things. Okay, so this is the first one right here. All 3 members take all 3 dances. So that has to go right in the middle where they're all overlapping. Okay, second, I need to do an and statement between 2 things. So I'm going to do this. 8 members take jazz and ballet. So I'm going to show you that jazz and ballet. Do you see this whole thing that I've highlighted is the overlap? Do you see it now? Forget like the other stuff going on. If jazz and ballet overlapped, this would be it. So I need 8 in there. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a 5. Why am I putting a 5? Because I already had 3 in that zone. So I need 8 in that zone. Okay, I'm going to look for another one of those statements. So 7 are in tap and jazz. So where does tap and jazz overlap? So this is my blue section here. So I need 7 in that section, so I'm going to put a 4. And in the last section, I'm going to do, where's my other and statement here? 10 are in tap and ballet. So this overlap has to be 10. So I need 7. Okay, now the next strategy, you pick some kind of individual. So this would be some kind of individual. I need 25 people to take tap. So this entire circle needs to add up to 25. But you already got a bunch of stuff in there. So you need to add to 25. So we have 11 left. Okay, my next is an or statement. So I need to do, I can't do jazz or ballet because then it has 2 open spots. So I have to do this one, tap or ballet. So here's what it looks like. Anything inside the tap or ballet, anything in any of those bubble parts has to add up to 45. So how much is left for here? So you would have to do 45 minus this. So I get 15 And then the last statement, "43 are in jazz or ballet." So I'm gonna try to highlight this. I'm running out of color options. Jazz or ballet. This is what jazz or ballet looks like. Anywhere in any of the jazz or ballet bubbles, anything in there needs to add to 43. So what do you have left in that spot? Okay, so do you understand the word and versus or? I don't know, does this help you if I do this little separate diagram thing? When I say something and something, this is what I'm talking about. And when I say something or something, this is what I'm talking about. It can be anywhere in anything. The and is that it has to belong to both. Okay, so my question was, how many people are on this dance team? So you need to add up every single number that you had in there. Okay, what if I had asked you like this question? How many people in this dance academy take only one type of dance? So what would you look for if I said that? These people are only in one type of dance. You would add up just these numbers, 11 and 9 and 15. So an answer to that would have been 35. Okay, next type of question. We have 4 people, Dan, Pete, Sally, no, 3 people, Dan, Pete, and Sally, play hockey, golf, or baseball. So this is what I do for these strategies. Dan, Pete, Sally, play hockey, golf, or baseball. Okay. Pete doesn't use a ball. So I'm going to go to Pete. He doesn't use a ball, so he can't be a golfer or a baseball. I now can conclude what? Boom, he's the hockey player. So if he's the hockey player, I can also say that Dan's not the hockey player, Sally's not the hockey player. Okay, next sentence. Sally is friends with the baseball player's sister. So what do you know about Sally? She cannot be the baseball player. Therefore, there is a direct conclusion now. She's the golfer. Dan can't be the golfer now. So Dan's the baseball player. There we go. Okay, so do a little chart. Make X's where you can until you reach a conclusion. Okay, on this one, you have 3-digit numbers, so we're going to go like this, A, B, C. All of them are different, so we have to use 3 different letters. Okay, it talks about digits. Do you guys know how digits work? This is the ones, this is the tens, this is the hundreds, right? Okay, so there we go. We have a 3-digit number. They're all different, so ABC. Okay, here we go. The tens. So B is 3 times the sum of the ones and hundreds. B is 3 times the sum of the ones and the hundreds. So what does this tell me? 3 times something. B is 3 times something. So what are some options for B? 3, 6, 9. Okay, but I can eliminate something already. If it was 3, it would have to be 3 times 1. If I wanted it to be 3, it'd have to be 3 times 1. Can you add 2 things to be 1? I guess. They would have to be 0 and 1, right? That's your only option to add to 1. Okay, if it was 6, 3 times 2 would be 6. What 2 items add to 2? You can only pick 0 and 2. Because you can't pick 1 and 1 to add to 2. Why can't I pick 1 and 1? Because they have to be different. And then if I wanted to pick 9, this would have to be 3 times 3. So how can I add to 3? 0 and 3 or 1 and 2? Okay, so now I have some options here. Okay, the number is less than 400. So what do you know about a number that's less than 400? It has to start with either a 1, a 2, or a 3. That has to be a 1, a 2, or a 3. It has to be. And it has to be odd. What do you know about odd numbers? How do you know something is odd? It will end in a 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. So it has to end odd. It has to end with that. So what's working so far here? I think we have to pick this situation because we can't use a 0. 0 didn't show up. Okay, so we have to go with a 291. Is it less than 400? Yep. Do 2 plus 1, which is 3, and 3 times that makes 9. And there was another statement, but we didn't even need it. If you add the 10 and the 1, so 9 plus 1, is that 5 times this one? Yeah. Okay, we have 3 chests, and each chest has a statement above it. Only one statement is correct. So which one has the treasure in it? Okay, so I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna try to guess what chest it's in, and we're gonna talk about if it's true or false. Okay, ready. Put the treasure in the red. Okay, so if the treasure's inside the red, let's go. The treasure is in this chest. Yeah, that's true. The treasure is not in this one. That's true. The treasure is not in the red chest. That would be false. Okay, I'm going to take the treasure out of there. I'm now going to put the treasure in the green one. Okay, so if it's in the green, I'm going to read this. The treasure is in here, in the first one. No, that's false now. The treasure is not in here. That would be false. The treasure is not in the red one. That's true. Okay, now I'm going to take the treasure and put it inside the brown box. Okay, so what do the statements mean? The treasure's in this chest? Nope, false. The treasure's not in this one? True. The treasure is not in the red one? That's now true. Okay, so only one statement is correct. So which scenario was that? Has to be in the second box, because this one had 2 trues, this one had 2 trues. So therefore, the treasure had to be inside the green one. Okay, so you kind of see how this is logic. I'm just kind of reasoning what's going on. Okay, last example. You have a 5-gallon or 5-liter pail and a 3-liter pail, and you got to be dumping water in and out, and you're trying to get exactly 4 liters. Okay, so do you understand these pails have no like little tick marks on the side? I don't know how much. I can't fill it up to a certain amount because I don't know where I am. All I know is once it's at the top, that's 5 liters. That's all I know. Okay, you can do these things. You can pour on the ground, and you can put it under the tap and fill it up. You can do that as many times as you want. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to fill the 5-liter. I'm just going to start by filling up one of them. And I'm going to pour it into the 3-liter. So what's my result? My 3-liter will be full, right? If I pour it into the 3-liter, I can fill the whole 3-liter. What would my 5-liter pail look like? If you took this, filled up the 3, what's going to happen to your 5-liter? You're going to have 2 left in there, right? Because you poured 3 out, so you got 2 left. Okay, I'm now going to empty my 3-liter bucket. I poured it onto the ground. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my 5-liter and I'm going to pour this into my 3-liter bucket. I'm going to move the 2 over. So now this is what my situation looks like. Okay, are we good with this now? See where we are? Okay, next maneuver. I'm going to fill the 5 liter up again. I got my tap, I can fill it back up. And then remember what we had? We had 2 already in that bucket. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to dump. What will happen if I dump that in? How much can I fit in there? 1 fits, which means, what do you got going on in your 5 liter bucket? You only have 4 left, and that was the goal. We got exactly to 4 liters without measurement ticks on our pail. Okay? Do I have a specific strategy for that? Nope. I start with one of them. So somebody else might have started with the 3 liter, filled up the 3, dumped it, 3, dumped it, until you're getting somewhere. Just start filling up one of them and dumping, and then sometimes you can dump on the ground when you fill.